Ban, welcome to the Startup Show. I'm the host, Peter Putros, and you are the guest today, and I'm very, very happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me here. It's great to be here.
It's an absolute pleasure, and I'd love to learn more about your business. What's it called?
Dentelle.
Dentelle.
Dentelle for evening dresses.
For evening dresses.
Yes.
Can I buy one?
For your wife.
For my wife.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not your ideal customer.
Definitely not, Peter.
Okay, I don't know. I think in certain countries now people can, mix and match with that kind of stuff, but
I think so,
that's
yeah.
definitely
Definitely not here though.
not here, not here. But yeah, fantastic. So, Dentelle, evening dresses.
hmm
When did you start it?
I started this business around 1.5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So end of 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going good so far. It's
You all
great.
in? You full time on it, or
Not really, no. I still have my regular job.
what's that? What do you do?
I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher.
I'm a teacher, yeah.
So that's full time,
That's full time, and I do this as a side business,
side
side
hustle.
hustle. Yeah.
So your main hustle is you teach during the
Yeah.
week, 40 hours more or less a
Yeah.
week.
40 hours a week.
And then in your spare time,
In my spare time, I work on my business. During the weekends, whenever I have free time, during school hours as well.
wow. And you
Yeah.
started a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
What made you start? What made you take the leap? Like, obviously, teaching, that's a full on commitment.
It
What
is.
made you be like, yeah, you know what? I want to start my own business. What made you move forward in that direction?
Oh, well, I'm very passionate about this, about fashion, and I wanted to have something for my own. I wanted to be my own boss, and I wanted to have some sort of financial freedom as well. And I found a good gap in the market, and I took advantage of that as well.
Okay, so passionate about evening wear, designing. Do you design your own?
Designing, yeah. When I was a little girl, I remember I used to sketch a lot of dresses. Still, until now, I still have sketches of my dresses that I used to sketch. So I wanted to do something related to that. So it's a long story. In the beginning, I wanted to learn how to sew
Okay,
and tailor. It was very difficult because there weren't many workshops here that can teach you that can teach you sewing. So I started with my mom's relative. She used to teach me, but I thought that it would take a long time for me to learn. By the time I learned it professionally, it would take around, let's say, 5, 7 years.
yeah, that's a long time.
It is a long time. So I went to the best next option, which was finding tailors in here
Okay,
who can bring my vision into life.
so you give them the designs and
I
they'd
give them the designs and they tailor it.
brilliant.
That's another struggle. I thought it was a brilliant idea, but then I struggled with finding good tailors, professional ones who can provide or who can design the dress within, let's say, a span of 1 week or
Okay,
two. That was pretty difficult. There weren't many professional tailors in here. They didn't have many assistants to help them. So I went to the best next option, which was supplying dresses from
okay.
abroad, which was the best option for me, and it is until now, till can actually design my own
That's
dresses
that's
and
actually quite
provide them.
interesting because obviously initially it was passion that fueled
Yeah,
your beginning, but then you realized there was a few challenges as every entrepreneur realizes
yeah,
when they start any business. They're romanced by the idea, but the idea of you designing and creating yours, you realize that might not have been as feasible to begin with. Then you transitioned on to finding someone that could support you. Then there were some constraints there, the quality and maybe the timings. So then
and I couldn't
next level
find
is
any textile suppliers as well. There are only vendors in here, so there weren't any factories that can provide the fabrics I wanted as well. I had to work with what I have, so that's another struggle. So I am still passionate about having my own designs as well, and I will work on that in the future. But for now, I'm just providing dresses from abroad.
this is fine. I think for me, hearing your story so far, it makes sense because you've got problems and you're adapting to what's going on here in terms of your resources available.
Yeah.
You've got limited amount of time. Obviously, you're working full time, but you've also got a situation here where the people around you can't support you in bringing your vision to life just yet. However, you're not using that as a reason to stop. Actually, you're being like, okay, what can I do? You have a taste. You bring perhaps, from suppliers
Yeah.
overseas, you bring those dresses here, and then you're beginning your entrepreneurial journey from that step, and eventually you want to transition. In terms of starting up, like walk me through the moment you sold your first dress. Like, did you? So obviously you're bringing supplies from
I
abroad.
brought a batch of around 12 dresses, I think, in the
Okay,
beginning. I brought them in different varieties, colors, styles. I wanted to know what might work out the most, what can be sold first. So I brought them in. It was in our living room because I didn't have place. I don't have a boutique. I have
yeah,
all the dresses and the mannequin all in the living room. I brought them in. I bought a mannequin and I started taking photos, making content. I
that's
posted on Instagram, did some sponsors. The first dress I sold was, I remember now, it was a gray dress. And it still gets sold until now.
it's.
Yeah,
Is it a popular one?
it's a
Yeah,
very popular one, yeah.
brilliant, brilliant. And so that's how you started. How many dresses did you buy to begin with?
I
Like,
bought, in the beginning, I bought around 12 dresses.
okay,
Yeah, I still have one until now. It's not been sold.
so that one's
It's
not a good.
yeah, it's not good. I'm never gonna bring that one again.
Okay, but it's interesting. So obviously you understood what was going on here. There was limited availability for local talent to provide what you wanted from day one.
Yeah.
In spite of that, you brought 12 dresses from abroad and you used the resources you have, which is,
I
that
had
you're
to bring a couple of dresses so I can make content out of them. I had to take photos, videos. I had to wear the dresses sometimes and take videos so I can build some sort of customer trust in the beginning.
that's good. That's good. And roughly how much did it cost you to start up?
Roughly, it costed me around 2,500 in the beginning.
$2,500.
Yes, it's
That's
not
not
much.
that's not a lot to
That's
start up a
that's not much.
business.
Yeah, it's not much.
And did you make a website or anything? How do you sell the dresses? Like, how do people see them? Is it social
It's
media?
it's yeah, Instagram based boutique.
What's it
It's an
called?
Instagram based
What's your
boutique
Instagram?
called Dentelle
Dentelle.
for
Okay.
evening dresses.
Dentelle for evening dresses on Instagram. So, okay. And then initially you got the dresses, you tried them on and people
Made
took photos or you,
created content.
okay.
Oh, my neighbor as well was my model, my temporary model as well for
That's
a
brilliant.
couple of days.
So you're involved in the community around you to bring
Yeah.
your vision to life. That's excellent. And so 2,500 to get started. What surprised you the most about beginning that journey? Was there obviously you're selling online to people you've not met before. What was did you figure something out after making that first sale that you might have not have known before in terms of how that process works? Because had you sold stuff before that, or was that your first
It
real?
was my first ever time selling anything ever in my
Okay,
life. Yeah.
so you're asking for people to trust you with their money, and you're going to give them something. That must have been a bit of a an experience for you.
Yeah, it was. I did not expect that anyone would buy online from a page that has just started.
Okay,
I think I had around what, like 100 followers. Then I sold my first dress.
how?
I was shocked that I myself I would never buy from an Instagram page that has 100 followers.
But that's
So
you.
that's me.
But that's
But
not
yeah, but
everyone's.
that's not everyone. No,
So that's a mindset shift that you might have
it
had
is.
to.
It is. Yeah,
How did that first sale feel?
it felt really good. Like I actually felt like I'm okay. I can actually do this. Like this can actually work.
How much was it that first sale?
How much in
How much did
terms
it cost the dress?
costed me around
No, the customer, the
the
customer.
customer? It costed the customer around $300.
And $300 in everyday life might not normally excite you, but
Mm,
the fact that that was your first sale
yeah,
proved that what you were doing.
that it can actually work.
So that must have felt,
That felt really good and exciting. Yeah,
yeah. I remember when,
it pushed me into like, okay, I can actually do this. I can actually build this business.
so that created like forward momentum to keep doing it, to
It
keep
did.
creating more
It did.
content, to
Yeah.
creep. Okay, that's brilliant. I remember when I made my first sale many years ago now. I remember that feeling, even though it was a small amount, it was just that verification that, wow, like I've created something and it works. It's
I
just
feel
like,
like a business
yeah,
woman, you know?
it's like a dopamine hit. It's like
Yeah.
I've never taken drugs before, but I can only imagine that might be what people look
Yeah.
for. But yeah, that's brilliant. And but like, what surprised you the most about selling to people? Like, obviously, you have to maybe answer a few questions from them before. Like, is there like a something that you realized you need more of in order to sell more? Is it just products or is it other
I
things?
needed, I would say, more customer reviews, having more customer reviews on the page because people wanted to see the dress on a customer or to see reviews or to see the dress, like they wanted live footages of the dress. So I focused on that a lot, building customer trust by posting many reviews of customers. I had to make my friends and cousins wear the dress, send me photos, send
Did
reviews.
you make them or did they want to? Because they're
Well,
good
they
dresses, and
wanted to, yeah,
yeah.
but I asked some of them to do it as well because I was providing high quality dresses at the end of the day. I know what I was providing. I just wanted a push in the beginning from friends, from cousins.
That's brilliant. So obviously a limited amount of money to start with, a limited amount of, area where you can actually do it. And obviously you're using all of your resources. You've got
Hmm.
friends, family, your neighbors, you even said.
My neighbor, yeah.
So that's brilliant. And what else? Like you've got other resources, like you're a teacher, full-time teacher. Was there
Mhm.
anything from your teaching profession that you had learnt that you could bring to the business? That is there some like crossover in skills that you use at all?
Not much actually from the teaching. No, not much. I wouldn't say that. There
Yeah.
was a link.
Teaching, so you're dealing with students every day, you're answering a lot of questions, you're
Well, yeah, maybe that. Yeah, sure. I would
yeah.
say that only, but it was just taking a lot of my time. Teaching it still is taking a lot of my time.
Okay. So for you, like when you make a sale, you're answering questions before, like people don't buy instantly, or do they? Do
They
they?
don't buy instantly. They ask, many of them ask a lot of questions. Then after, let's say, a month or more, they would come back wanting to order the dress because they see that there are other suppliers who are providing dresses as well, but maybe they're providing them with higher prices. Or they would come back to me always to order the dress from me. They would say, I went to this boutique, I found the same dress, but it was double the price, triple the price. So I'm gonna come back to you and order from you because you provide the same dress with better prices than others.
Okay, fantastic. So you've got that now, and when you're speaking to them, how do you do it? Obviously, you're working. How are you juggling that? Because it's a
I'm
lot of
telling you, yeah, it's like I have to talk to them during sometimes during school hours, sometimes when I have free time, even when I go out sometimes with friends and family, like they would see me on my phone chatting, talking to customers. So what can I do? I don't have a lot of time. I have to make it work some sort of way.
yeah.
So it does take a lot of my time. It did a lot in the beginning, the first couple of months while I was building the page. Did take a lot of my time. I had to make a lot of content creating. I had to text a lot of customers, reply quickly. So yeah, work-life balance didn't work out in the beginning, but now the page has grown into around 42,000 followers. So
Wow.
yeah,
And that's a year and a half.
that's yeah, a year and
Imagine
a
what's
half.
going to happen another year and a half from now. Can only imagine it's going to
Let's
get even bigger,
let's
even
hope we
better.
hit 100K this year.
100K,
Yeah,
why not? Why not? Fantastic. So there must have had been a lot of sacrifice, like you going out with friends
going
and
out
you're
with
you're
friends,
texting, you're replying
texting
to
instead of
messages.
yeah communicating with friends and family.
Do you think anyone noticed that? Like you were not as engaged as maybe
They
beforehand?
did, but they were very understanding and supportive.
That's what happens when you have good friends and
Yeah,
family, right?
of course, yeah.
Yeah. Is it if you hadn't started this side hustle a year and a half ago, how would your life be different now? Do you think it would have been better, the same, or worse? Like what?
It would be very like basic and I wouldn't be very happy. I wasn't very happy with my profession because where was it leading me towards? Am I just gonna stay a teacher for my entire life? Am I not gonna have something for my own? It's not just about teaching. It's about I worked at companies as well. I
Okay.
didn't feel that passion.
So it didn't engage you on a level
Uh,
deeper beyond
it
like
didn't.
turning
No,
up, doing the hours, and then
I didn't even
clocking out.
imagine myself being 40 or 45 and still working for a company or for a school. I wanted to have something for my own
That
as
makes a
well,
lot of
something
sense.
that I'm very passionate about.
Like from multiple levels, it makes sense because obviously with the financial element, there's only so much money you can make being a teacher.
Yeah.
Like you can maybe work your way up the teaching ladder. You could become, a head teacher. You could become, a director of a few different schools. That path didn't excite you as much as creating your own baby in the
Yeah,
sense of
yeah, and
your own
my
entrepreneurial
own, yeah.
idea. And yeah, the level of engagement, I imagine, like that, just the example of that first sale, how good it must
How
have felt.
exciting it was as well.
That
Yeah.
like must have set you on a path to, wow, this is only going to get bigger, it's only going to get better. I can put more of my personality into this, and eventually
I
you're going
can
to.
invest more time into this.
I want to know more about your future plans as well. Like, obviously, at the moment, you're juggling two lives. You've
Yeah.
got a full-time job, and on the side,
A side hustle.
evenings,
Yeah.
weekends, where you can.
Mm.
Like, I mean, like now, for example, if you want to go on holiday, what happens to the business? Because you can take time off work, but what about the business? Like, if people want to buy dresses, do you just say, sorry, no orders now? Or...
I can do everything remotely. I can text customers, suppliers, and the shipping companies. I can do everything remotely, but yeah, even when I travel, it's very simple. I didn't really struggle in that. I traveled a couple of times during this 1.5 year, but I didn't find any struggles. Engagement would be a bit low, like posting would be a bit low because I wouldn't have a lot of time to post stories. But in terms of orders, I was managing.
So, if for the sake of discussion now, you didn't have a full-time job
Mm-hmm.
and your side hustle became your main hustle,
Mm-hmm.
and you had way more time to contribute towards it in a week, let's say 40 hours, what would you do differently? Like, how could you use that additional time to build your brand further to try and have a bigger impact, make more sales, and expand it? Do you have any ideas for what you would do at that time?
Yeah, I would have more time to create more content. I would have more time to actually wear the dresses and be let's say, the model for my own business. I would have more time to talk about the business, maybe make videos, maybe do more of podcasts and this kind of marketing. But again, having a stable job takes a lot of your time, so I would want to reach a point where I can actually quit this job and just focus on the main business.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, the job is good because it gives you that
It's
security
a
that
stable income.
it doesn't
Yeah.
put too much pressure on your side hustle to be like, all right, let's make this work very fast. You can do it
I
slowly,
can do it slowly. I'll
carefully.
take time.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
but I will reach a point where I will just quit the job and focus on the business mainly. But that's my aim actually.
that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay, I've got some questions on the sales side of things.
Yeah.
Have you had a situation where you made loads of sales and then a situation where you didn't have as many sales? Does that change throughout the year, like between January to
Definitely,
December?
definitely. Depends on the season. There are high seasons where I get around 20.
When's that?
That's during summer when
Okay,
there are lots of parties, weddings, engagements, graduations as well. During graduation season, I get many orders, up to like 20 per month.
okay,
And there are some months where I would say around January, February, and maybe March before Ramadan.
okay.
During Ramadan as well, I wouldn't get many orders because there are not many parties
S-
during that season.
So you sell mostly in Iraq?
I do sell mostly in Iraq,
Okay,
yeah.
so these are dependent on what's going on in the calendar, what events.
Yeah.
Weddings typically cluster in certain
Wedding
months.
season is always between April to October. That's
Okay,
the high season for weddings, engagements, parties. Anything between is during winter. We don't really do lots of parties, engagements, and weddings, so the sales do drop a bit, but not significantly. I would say around 12, 14 per month.
okay.
Yeah, which is not bad, but we
That's
don't reach the max. The max is during summer.
okay. So like during those max periods, what do you do to try and capitalize on that more so? Like, is there a limit to how many dresses you can sell, or as many as they would like to buy you
It's
could
as many
provide?
as they want to buy. I can provide.
So aside from creating the content, is there any other things you do to make people aware of your business? Do you do ads or anything like that, or
Yeah, I ads, and I've recently partnered with an influencer as well.
can we drop names? Who's this
Sure,
person?
Sarah Dorson.
I don't know who that is, but
You will know her soon.
yeah, okay, that's fantastic. And oh, that's is that the first time you've onboarded
This
an
is the first time, yeah, I'm partnering with an influencer, which is exciting as well.
That is interesting,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's like you've almost got another face to the company as well. You've
yeah,
got an opportunity to leverage that person's following, that person's trust in their own community, their followers, And
Building more customer trust is very important. They'll see this dress, they'll see that this brand is talked about. They'll see that this store is talked about by a person, and the person is actually wearing the dresses and talking about it and talking about the quality, which is very important.
so I take it that this person is being followed by people that are your ideal
They
audience.
are my ideal audience, which are the women between the ages of 20 till 50.
Very interesting. How did you have that conversation with the influencer to begin with? Like, how did you get that person on board? Did they like your business? Did he like the idea? And
Yeah, I texted her, and she was very happy to collaborate. And
oh,
she saw that I have many followers as well, and and she saw the quality of dresses, and I sent her a dress as well. So she saw the quality in real life, and she was very happy to collaborate as well with me.
brilliant. So in order for like other people to understand, all you have to do is you have to send a message,
You just have
get
to
out of
send
your
a
comfort
message.
zone.
Yeah, that's all you need to do.
Yeah, and maybe they'll reply sometimes, and maybe they won't. But the ones that do reply, you gave
You
her.
send messages to many influencers and see what works out the best for you.
How did you know influencer marketing was an avenue you wanted to explore? How did you know that was probably a good idea to go ahead with?
Well, these days, whenever you go on Instagram, you just see influencers talking about different things, and they get many engagement when they do that. They Many people trust influencers these days. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes it is a good thing, sometimes it's not, but many people trust them. When it comes to dresses, I thought that okay, but they would see the dress in real life. It's not like a product, it's not a skincare product or a hair product that you would not see the result of immediately. It's a dress. You see it, you see the quality, you see it on a person. So, what could go wrong?
Yeah. Speaking of what could go wrong, you're a year and a half into your journey.
Hmm.
If you were to go back in time and speak to yourself when you first started, what advice would you give to that younger Ban?
Be more consistent
Okay.
posting.
Consistency in posting.
Yeah. Do not waste whatever profit you get from the business. Save that up to build it more and to grow the business more.
Okay, so sometimes you use that
I
to
not like maybe just in the beginning.
you got to live, you know?
Yeah.
You're young, you
You
want to go
gotta
traveling.
yeah, enjoy like wins, you know? Like
Yeah.
um
So
so
consistency,
consistency,
reinvesting the profits.
investing the profit and investing more time
Yeah.
into the business.
Could you have invested more time back then?
I think, yeah, but sometimes you just get lazy and you get tired of work and the pressure. So some on some days I don't even want to open the Instagram page. I don't even want to reply to anyone.
I've got a question on that. Do you
Okay,
ever wake up one day and just think
why
this
did I
isn't
do
this isn't
this?
worth it? Yeah. Do you ever think that?
Not, no, not really. But maybe it has happened one or two times only.
Yeah.
When you get frustrated with some customers, it happens.
So it's the custom. It's not the outside pressures of life.
That too, along with some frustrations that come from the business.
Yeah. I think it's a tough one to juggle everything and like
But you just need to push yourself. Just see the bigger picture.
yeah. I mean, compared to where you are now versus a year and a half ago, would you say you've learned a lot of things?
Yeah, of course. I learned how to invest my time well. I learned how to create better content, how to engage better with customers, how to build more trust with customers. I've learned a lot since then. But
Trust is a big one.
trust is a very big one, yeah.
And obviously you learned how to, did you do the ads yourself or did you hire an agency to support
I did
you?
everything by my own.
So you learned ads.
I learned ads as well. I
Oh,
learned when to post, what to sponsor, what time to sponsor, what content to sponsor, what kind of dresses would sell more than others.
if you did a course on all of this before you even started, would it have been as good as, let's say, learning as you're doing it, or
It would. It definitely would be, yeah.
yeah?
Would
Because
save more time for me as well.
this is the thing, on a personal level, a lot of the information that I learn about or I try and understand, it's valuable, but it's not relevant to me at the time. So, like, if I'm thinking about, uh, let's say, I want to think about web design.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you have a website. Do you have a website yet?
Not yet.
Soon?
Building it soon, yeah.
Okay, but you don't need one. You've got the Instagram page, it's working fine.
That's true, but some customers from abroad who don't really trust Instagram pages. They want a proper website where they can order through.
That's an interesting one.
That's
I think I might also come into the trust element, right?
yeah.
For me, like 7 years ago, before I started my business, I remember thinking about websites, learning. I bought this book called How to Build Website for Dummies.
Mm,
And I remember looking at the book, I'm like, this is not interesting, this is not relevant. But then fast forward like 2 years into my business,
mm,
we'd built a basic website, but I'm just like, I want this to be better. Like how? And I'm watching YouTube tutorials, I'm learning how to do it, I'm trying to apply that learning.
mhm.
At that point, the relevance of that information was so much higher for me. Whereas before, if I did a course, it wouldn't have been as relevant.
Yeah,
So it's like if you're spending a lot of your own time, your spare time, doing it, you want to do it well. And learning is a key part of that. The website is something that if you have it, you said it will open up the market beyond Iraq. Is
it
that
would. Yeah, it would open up the market. I've had a couple of customers from Saudi Arabia, UAE, UK, USA,
just from the Instagram page?
just from the Instagram page. Yeah, it's very difficult to. It's very difficult for people from abroad to trust an Instagram page, especially if it's based in Iraq.
Okay.
So it's better to build a proper website for them to order through.
Okay. So that could be maybe so like this is where you're at now. In
Mm.
terms of the next 6 to 12 months, how do you see Dentel developing, expanding? What so we talked about the website. Is that a priority now or are there other priorities first before
Well,
that?
I'm trying to provide more dresses for rental. Lots of women want to rent dresses instead of buying them. So
Ooh.
I need to provide a space to put all of those dresses in, and I'm also planning on opening a website soon. That's for the short term. Uh,
So
that's what I'm
renting
planning to do for short term, but for long term, I'm planning to open a boutique as well and provide wedding dresses. It's very crucial to open a boutique if you want to bring wedding dresses because I don't think there's a bride in the world that doesn't want to try her dress on and just order it online. I don't think anyone would want to order dresses like wedding dresses online.
I can only imagine like obviously I've not been a bride before, but I can imagine that process. It's your big day. You want to
Yeah,
make sure it's 100%
exactly.
perfect.
Imagine if the dress comes out and it's not your size, you don't like the quality, you don't like the fabric.
So that's interesting because it's a little bit of a market shift for you then if
Mhm.
you're going into that because obviously you're providing evening wear dresses. My guess is that no brides have yet bought a dress from.
Not yet. They have asked me, many girls who are my customers have asked me to provide wedding dresses for them, but I haven't found the proper supplier for that yet.
It's a different kind of market. Like you're gonna have to maybe open up a boutique, as you
I
said. They
have
want
to
to
open a
see it in
boutique,
person.
yeah.
That's going to be more costs. It's going to be a bit more headache. To get to that point, I think you might want to do a few more things before. Like I think you can do more of what you're doing, which people value, and you've already got sales. So you could maybe, yeah, try and I think the website is a good idea because then that opens up the borders a bit more. People in the West, I know for a fact, people in England, they trust more a website than an Instagram
Then an
page.
Instagram page,
I
yeah.
don't know about the dresses market, but I know in the general
In
sense.
general sense, yeah.
So if you focus on doing more of what you're good at, maybe get more selections, get the website, I think that'll be a fantastic way to build enough revenue so that opens up the other risk, which I think is the biggest one in your business right now, it's your time.
The time, yeah.
I think if you could find a way to make your side hustle your main hustle, that would really empower you to do so much more. Your
That's
main
the plan.
focus
Yeah.
in one project. Imagine the possibilities. You need to sustain yourself financially to do that. So you need to
Mm.
get enough sales monthly or an average across the year to do that.
That would take more time because I'm teaching as well. It would take maybe I would say 2 or 3 years. Well,
How could you make that 1 year? Like, do you know any could you get some support from people around you to
fine. I can get financial support
okay,
obviously, but I don't want to. I want to build everything from my own. I want to build everything from the profit I make.
that's
So
good.
I want to keep my job, build the business, 2 3 years maybe, and to the point where I can quit the job, open a boutique, provide wedding dresses as well,
That's good. That's good. You're not in a
rent.
hurry. You're enjoying the journey.
No, exactly. I'm not in a hurry as well, so I'm fine where I am now.
That's brilliant. And okay, that's good. So gradually, as you're getting there, you're going to become more experienced. You're going to learn more things. It's sustainable. You're going to get more insights from people, understand more what dresses work well, what don't, more feedback. You're building more trust. You're getting more reviews. Eventually, the website will be developed. You can get more customers from more countries. by 2, 3 years, if you're doing that gradually at your pace, I think you could be in a
I,
position to do that full
I
time.
can easily quit my job, focus mainly on the boutique.
Does anyone in your current job know that you are doing this on the side?
I think after this everyone would know.
Okay. Is it,
Some people do know, yeah. People who are close to me do know.
I don't think there's a conflict of interest there, is there? Like, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's a hobby in
it's
your spare time.
exactly. Yeah, it's not affecting my main job. It's
Yeah.
not affecting my teaching, so
You don't think anyone would have a problem with
I
this?
don't think so. No.
I don't think so
Mm.
either. Can you remember a time when you realized, though, that doing this business,
Hmm.
building it, selling dresses, isn't as easy as you might have thought it was at the beginning? Did you think it was easier before you started than afterwards?
Definitely, yeah, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort communicating with customers, having to talk with different people who have different attitudes. I was not used to that a lot, so that was pretty difficult for me in the beginning.
So there's a lot around customer service, yeah?
Customer service, yeah, I wasn't like I haven't done that before ever. Um, Difficulties with shipping time as well. Some dresses would not arrive on time, so customers would get really mad and angry. I didn't know how to deal with that in the beginning. Now I do easily
How? How do you deal with that?
because now I know when is the high season and when dresses arrive on time and when they might not arrive on time. So I tell the customer that this dress might arrive after 30 days instead of telling them 12 or 15
So it's
days.
leveling their expectations
So
to
it's
begin with,
exactly,
yeah?
yeah.
And are they okay with that, or do you sometimes lose sales when you're completely
I
honest with
do
them?
sometimes. It happens very rarely now. It used to happen a lot in the beginning because I didn't know um, that some pieces would arrive late. I didn't know shipping time. I didn't know how long it took for the piece to arrive. Sometimes it would get stuck in airports for a couple of days. I would lose sales then.
So for people that would then buy your dresses, you'd make sure that you let them know maybe a longer time so that
Exactly,
they
I
would.
extend the time. I used to tell people that the dress might arrive within 14 days. In most cases, didn't.
But that's good because you're under promising and over delivering.
Yeah,
So that actually makes them feel good when they get it early.
yeah.
So that actually builds goodwill with the customer and they're more likely to use you again in future.
So exactly to order again.
I'm interested in the new customers versus the repeat customers. Do you have a lot of repeat customers?
I do have a lot. Many of my customers reorder again from me. They tell their like many customers come to me and tell me, "Oh, my sister bought this from you. My cousin bought this from you. They recommended you." So I do get retention rate is very high.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I think, yeah, that's a key thing when you're building a business. You want not just to be chasing new customers the whole time. You want also the existing
You
customers
exactly, yeah, that's
to
very
come back
important.
again.
Yeah.
They've got an event, multiple
Because they would
events,
recommend you to their family and friends.
and that's even better for you because you're piggybacking off the trust that they have with their friends.
Yeah.
So by them recommending you to their friends,
Their friends would recommend me to their friends and so on.
do you ask them to recommend or do they do that themselves?
I don't ask anyone to recommend. They do it on their own. Yeah.
Could you? I think that could be a small low-hanging fruit for you if you ask them the question to
Maybe,
do that.
yeah.
Could increase sales.
Good. Yeah, that's another idea that I'm a
I've got quite a few ideas,
yeah.
but that's
We
I think
might
that
work together. You might help me
maybe,
out.
but I think that one is a very simple one. Like when what's the experience like for them when they receive the dress? Is it just a dress in plastic or like cardboard packaging? Like what do you do?
Cardboard box, a white cardboard box. It used to be white, but now it's brown because I can't find white boxes. I don't know why.
So it's your branding box or is it like from the supplier direct to the
No, no, I get it. I package it all, then I send it to them.
is the packaging nice? Is it like opening an iPhone or something?
Well, not an iPhone, but it's inside of a cardboard. It's wrapped in plastic on the inside. You have a business card and my logo on the cardboard as well.
Okay, so like they're
It's a
starting.
nice packaging. I'm not wrapping it in a piece of plastic and send it to them. It's not a nice experience to open a dress from a plastic bag, you know?
Yeah, so it's like another level of the experience they have with buying from you.
Yeah,
It's like it makes them feel good when they receive it. It's like maybe even opening a Christmas present,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
So
exactly, yeah.
they're happy that the dress is there on time
It's
rather
wrapped
early.
nicely as well. Yeah,
So that's good. Just chuck in maybe a card like
I do. There,
recommend us to a friend or something. Just tell them, nudge them in that direction,
yeah.
and you get some more sales.
I provide 10% discount on the second sale
Brilliant,
from any customer who buys from me. The second time would be they would have 10% discount on any piece they want.
fantastic.
Yeah. Hmm.
There's been no wedding
No, no,
mishaps,
not wedding,
obviously.
not wedding. It's mainly engagements.
Okay.
I think I've ruined one engagement where a customer had to postpone her engagement just to receive the dress on time.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a big one.
I'm sorry for who, if the customer is hearing this, I'm very sorry.
Oh, that's
But I
interesting.
did give her a discount though.
Yeah, that's good. But like everyone, like how many guests maybe there must have been, especially here, there must have been quite a few guests that were like, oh, that Friday we've got this engagement. Oh no, it's been moved to Sunday or something
Yeah,
because of,
it was postponed for about a week, I think.
okay.
Yeah, that's the one unlucky customer.
I'm guessing that experience helped you a lot though with your
It
next ones,
did,
yeah.
yeah. But it wasn't my fault. I ordered the dress on time. It just was stuck in the airport. Because in the airport, you have these sonar devices that have to check the pieces that arrive. That device was broken and they had to fix it, and it took time. So it was stuck in the airport. But the dress was technically in Iraq, but it was just stuck.
Was she must have been a little bit upset.
She was very upset, yeah. And I tried my best to tell her that it will arrive on time, and I told her that I will give her a discount. But she loved the dress so much that she postponed her engagement for it. So,
That's actually something. There's something really good that
mm.
you've learned from that as well. Obviously, you know, the delays at the airport. That's a lesson that I'm sure you're thinking about in any transaction going forward. But the vote of confidence that you must have with your business now,
Yeah,
the fact that she'd be willing to change the date of
change
the
the date.
engagement
Yeah,
just to wear the dress,
yeah.
that must be something special. To learn that people love your products
And
to
people
that level.
actually know that this dress is high quality. They're not just gonna receive something that is completely different from the photos they're
Yeah.
seeing.
Has she ordered from you before that?
No, it was her first time ordering from
Okay.
me. Yeah, it was risky though. Like for her,
Has she ordered it again from you since?
not since no.
Okay, okay. But this is the thing though, as you're building a business, you can't, if you try and please everyone all of the time, it's not possible.
Mm.
And there's always going to be issues. It's a
There's always
customer,
going to be problems and issues and people complaining and that why hasn't the dress arrived on time, and you would have to always tell them and find some sort of excuses to tell them that it's just the shipping companies that are delaying it. We
you're
have
being
ordered
honest, it's
on time,
true.
which is the truth, of course, yeah. You cannot control that. I cannot tell a shipping company to deliver the dress within 5 days. Things happen, dresses get stuck in airports, flights get cancelled, so
If you, like, for example, someone starting up now, they might be scared that might upset someone or ruin their wedding or rather ruin their engagement. What advice would you give to that person? Like, I'm guessing,
just take it easy, yeah. Like
yeah,
it's not the end of the world. You might have one or two angry customers, but not everyone. It's not like everyone is going to be angry at you.
as a
Just,
percentage, would you say they're
I would
less
say
than,
the percentage would be 5% maybe, or
yeah.
maybe less.
So 95% are above and
95.
beyond
Yeah,
happy.
yeah,
5%, that's collateral damage. Like as you're building a business, you're learning,
yeah,
you're understanding what works, you're understanding limitations from suppliers, delivery, everything.
yeah,
I'm more interested now though to learn about your designs because originally that's where you started from. You
yeah.
started from, you had a passion for designing dresses. You started with the suppliers route to supply the fabrics, the tailor to develop them. I want to know, when do you think you could get back to that? Because now you're providing in-demand dresses,
Yeah.
you vetted the suppliers, but this is your baby and you want to add a bit more of your personality to
I
it.
think
So,
after I open my boutique, I
okay.
think after I open my boutique, I will have, after I obviously quit my job, I will have more time to focus on designs, know what's trending, know what people like, know the general local taste in here. So I can build the design based on that. I can't just build a design that I like, but I would think that other people won't.
Yeah. So that's an
Because
interesting,
that takes time, designing a dress, sending the pictures and the fabrics to uh, workshops, factories, having, maybe if I want to design my own dresses, I would like have a batch of different sizes as well. So I'll have a big order. So I would have to make sure that this design would sell here. So I would say around the time I open a boutique, then I can actually focus on designing my own dresses and having my own line.
I want to give you a proposition.
Mm.
If I was to give you $5,000 today to invest in your business, what would you do with that money today? How would you spend it to try and grow it?
I would order a batch of the bestseller dresses that I have so they can be ready to sell because some customers do not want to wait 20, 14 days, maybe even more to receive the dress. They want to have it now, like after 2, 3 days. So I would invest in that. But the problem is I don't have place to put all the dresses in.
How many are we talking? Like how many?
Maybe around 20, 20 dresses,
Do you have
20,
any
25.
friends, family you could help them store the dresses?
I think I'll manage, yeah, but I won't have the dress at home.
Okay, but it's still within driving distance if you
Yeah,
need it.
it should be, yeah.
So then what happens then to the shipping time? Because obviously you're adding additional value to your customers by saving them a lot of time in terms of the
I
delivery
will not
shipping cost.
increase the price of shipping for them.
Okay,
No,
so like now,
I'll
for
keep it
example,
reasonable.
let's say you buy the dresses and
Mm.
you could store them. Instead of it being 20 days or 14 days, they have
Mm.
to wait. How sooner could they get the dresses? Is it three
They can
days?
get it within 2 days.
And do you think that would make orders go much higher if
It
they knew that?
would, but I would have to pick styles and sizes, the the correct style and size, um, and the bestseller dresses, obviously. And the problem is with where to store those dresses because 20, 30 dresses they're heavy. They take a lot of space. And that's the only problem that I would have is where to store them. And sales would be high, but like it would take more time for all the dresses to be sold. It would take more time because maybe I don't have that dress in that correct size or in that correct color that she wants,
Oh,
that the customer wants.
there's a lot of details here. It's not just
There are,
buying 12
there are,
dresses, it's like
yeah.
the
They
size.
want a size and a style, and a type of fabric and a specific length. So it's better to have that idea in a boutique where they can actually come to the boutique and try the dress on. Maybe if a customer doesn't like the dress on a picture, she might like it on herself. So it's better to keep that idea for later when I have a boutique.
It's interesting. Like we always come back to the boutique, but like
Yeah.
you're in a phase now where you want to get to it. So like for you, like when you think about growing bigger, like hiring people,
Mm.
more stock, or like, fulfilling more orders, is there a part of that that you're secretly worried about, or there's like something that you're a little bit uncertain or maybe even scared of doing, of taking that leap? Like, is there anything that makes you uncomfortable thinking about trying to grow bigger in that way, hiring people?
Yeah, hiring people. You mean if I hire people now to run
Yeah,
the page?
yeah, maybe like answering the customer
That's,
inquiries or
yeah, it's very hard to find trustworthy people who, because they're still working for you. They don't really care. They might answer people in a rude way, forget to reply to customers, forget orders. I wouldn't trust the page with anyone right now. Maybe for the future I would.
I think for you,
Many
like,
people texted me, told me they would run the page and they would reply to customers. They do this as a living, and but I didn't hire anyone to do
you
that.
still want to keep your hand on it.
I want to
You're
keep my hand
learning,
yeah.
you're learning about what the preferences are. You being on the front line, i.e., you answering the customer inquiries, gives you a good insight in terms of their mindset, what their interests are, when they, how quick, even to the smallest detail, how quick they appreciate replies and how quick an order can come from that.
Exactly. I would hire someone when I don't have the time to reply to anyone.
So that means
That's
if
when
there's a
I
lot
would
more interest,
hire.
maybe, or
Exactly. Yeah, that's the time where I think it's better to hire someone to reply to the Instagram page or the whatever other platform I'm using.
just to circle back to that idea of me, let's say, giving you $5,000 to try and help you grow the business, I think a key next step for you is to find that person, because at the moment you are doing everything yourself and it's tough and there is a limit to how much you can grow.
Mm.
However, if you can find a trustworthy person that is trained on your preferences on how they can reply, that will really open up doors in terms of communication and remove some stress off your plate in
Yeah.
terms of you want to get back to people quickly. That is a difference in skill set that you would need to develop, because at the moment, I'm not sure if you've had any managerial experience before, i.e., Have you had a team of people that have worked under you that you've given them instructions and they've followed well or not followed well? Because
I've
that's a
only given instructions to students so
but
far.
that see, this is where if we're circling back to the beginning of the conversation, are there any transferable skills? That is one key
Well,
one.
yeah, yeah,
But
that's
you've
true.
not yet used it
Yeah,
because at the moment you're doing everything yourself, which
yeah.
is brilliant. You need to understand all the aspects of the business. But in terms of getting to the next level, like let's say your orders 10x tomorrow,
Mm.
you can't do all of
Of
that
course,
yourself.
I won't have any time to do all of that. I won't have time to package anything. I won't have time to reply to customers. Then, of course, if the orders 10x or
100x.
100x, hopefully one day, of course, that's gonna be an important time to hire someone.
I think some
Maybe a
good,
team, even, not even a person.
well, that would be good. So
Yeah.
this is the thing to start off with. Let's say you've got additional stock that would allow you to reduce order times. It would provide additional value to your customers, assuming, of course, the color and the sizes are okay. But then you've also got a situation where you could potentially invest in someone part time, not full time, to reply on your behalf. There would be a training side of that and there would be a vetting side. So you'd need to figure out if this person is a good fit.
Yeah.
You'd need to make sure that they are trustworthy, they have the same attention to detail, if not better. There are
Mm.
probably better people that specifically focus on that to add more value to what you're doing by freeing up your time so you can focus on other aspects like maybe looking or designing or
Designing. Yeah.
so I think there is some opportunities there. And they also, I think, in that 5,000, I think could be useful to invest in a website. You want to open up the boundaries and where people can trust you beyond the borders of your current country.
And maybe collaborate with another influencer as
I'm
well.
interested to see how that works, to be honest. I know you've just
Yeah.
started the collaboration,
Me
but
too. I haven't done it before. It's the first time I ever collaborate with someone. So let's see how that works out.
maybe in a month, 3 months, you'll see a lot of more, maybe even a whole lot more sales, and you'll be
Maybe.
like, this is the path.
If it works, then we will collaborate even more.
Maybe find others to collaborate with as
Exactly,
well.
yeah.
That could be the advertising marketing strategy that you could adopt until you get to the point where you can afford to buy your own boutique.
Yeah.
But even still, you could keep that going. It's working.
Yeah.
I think for someone that's thinking about starting, not necessarily evening wear dresses or like a business which sells a product to people, do you have any advice to give someone that's just starting out so that they could maybe make their journey at the beginning a bit more easier? What advice would you give to that
You would
person?
have to do something you're passionate about, definitely. Because if you won't, you're just gonna get bored
Yeah,
easily. Just find a gap in the market. Know the general taste. Provide something that people would actually want to use, and be very consistent. Invest your time well. Do not waste any money, any profit on yourself. Keep it all for the business. I would recommend that. But you really have to work on something that you're passionate about, something that you love, or at least you have good knowledge in.
brilliant. Ban, thank you very much. And thank you very much for coming on to the
Thank you for
Startup Show.
having me today. I had a great time.
Before you leave, can you just remind us what your page is for everyone to know?
My page is called Dentelle for evening dresses. I provide high end evening dresses for women between the ages of 20 to 50.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. I'm your host, Peter Patros, and we look forward to seeing you again in future on here. Thank you, Ban.
Thank you.